Before we spent a week at the Marriott Vacation Club's Aruba Surf Club, I spent months reading every Facebook post, looking at all the YouTube videos, reading in all the discussion forums. What are the best things to do on our stay in Aruba? And so we took all the advice and we'll show you whether it was a hit or miss. Now, the most valuable piece of advice that we got was before you land in Aruba, you have to apply for the Aruba ED card. Now, when you search for that in Google, you'll see the first results are all sponsored results. Do not go through one of those sites to get your Aruba embarkation and disembarkation card. They will overcharge you. This is the site that you're looking for. Once you arrive in country, you'll have to clear customs, and then you'll head over to baggage claim. Once you clear baggage claim, this is hot tip number 2. Head over to the Aruba duty-free store, and every adult can buy 1 bottle of alcohol duty-free. Now, depending upon where you're staying, you may want to load up on groceries at the local superfood. The superfood had, we thought, fairly reasonable prices and a great selection. Or you can elect to have your groceries delivered through Groceries to Go. Now, with the temperature in Aruba hovering around 90 degrees year-round, you really want to make sure to pick a resort that has a great pool. We found that the Aruba Surf Club really delivered in the pool area with a children's area. They had the lazy river, they had an adult pool, and the pool was absolutely packed during certain parts of the day, particularly when they played bingo. The other feature that we really wanted was the ability to just jump right into the Caribbean Sea with our floaty. And as you can see, Palm Beach has a variety of properties that also have this beachfront access, from the Ritz-Carlton to the Marriott to the Ocean Club to the Aruba Surf Club. And all of these properties are on Palm Beach, and they're joined together by a sidewalk, making it easy to flow from one property to the next, and you can choose where you want to dine. This was one night at the Ritz-Carlton. Now, a hotly debated topic was whether or not you should rent a car while in Aruba. I will say, if you're going to rent a car, you need to be good at traffic circles because there are no traffic lights on the island. Now, we made the decision to rent a car because we knew that staying in a studio, we would make a lot of different dinner reservations. And so when we looked at the cost of a rental car versus all of those different Ubers, it just made a lot of sense. And it meant that we could spend a day in Oranjestad looking in the shops, seeing the various murals, and having the freedom to go where we wanted. And one of those places we wanted to go was the highly recommended Tres Tropi Beach. I don't know if I said that right, but this is where we were told that we could maybe snorkel and see some turtles. We did not indeed see any turtles, but it was full of tropical fish. Now, the recommendation that I knew I wanted to do as soon as I read about it was the Renaissance Private Island. Now, what is the Renaissance Private Island? Well, if you are staying at the Renaissance Hotel, they have a water taxi that takes you out to their own private island. And it is free if you're staying at the Renaissance. However, if you are staying somewhere else, you can buy a day pass. Now, the day passes only come available at 9 a.m. on a Saturday for the upcoming week. So if you want to book this, that's as far in advance that you can book it. 9 a.m. on a Saturday. So I would recommend you have your computer out and ready. Now, what is the appeal to this? Well, 1, it's a private island. Who doesn't want that? But 2, there are actually flamingos out on the island. And so once you get off the boat, there are little treat jars, just like a gumball machine, that take a quarter. And you need to bring your own quarters, but you can buy food and you can actually feed the flamingos. I will say this is one of the highlights of the trip for me. I can now say I hand-fed a flamingo. Now, since we spent so much money to get out there, it's $125 per person, we spent the whole day. They do have a restaurant there, and we ate breakfast, and it was fantastic. I would highly recommend taking a meal there. And I will say that they also had some very good snorkeling there. Now, this next recommendation, this could be a hit or a miss with your group. For Pete and I, this was a hit. We're from Colorado and we love to hike anything tall. So this is the Hooberg Hike Trail. And it's not really a trail, it's actually this staircase. This staircase goes for 589 steps, and it gets you to maybe one of the best 360-degree views of the entire island. And while it was a fun hike, I got hot. Since we had worked up an appetite, we had heard that we needed to try out Huchata, which is a neighborhood bakery in about the center of the island. And y'all, this recommendation is a hit. We ended up going with whatever the woman behind the counter said to buy, and we loved everything. Now, this last activity that was recommended was to go to the California Lighthouse. And y'all, this was a little bit of a miss for me, and the only reason why is because you're not able to access the lighthouse. Pretty much you just drive to it and look at the scenery. Had I been able to climb it, I thought it would have been a little more fun. Now, let's move on to restaurant recommendations. Now, if you watch our Aruba packing video, you'll know that one of the things that we packed was this griddle. And so we made eggs and toast just like this every morning, and then we sat by the pool and we ate our breakfast. That meant that we went out for almost every other meal. And our favorite spot was Eduardo's. This is about a 10-minute walk down the beach, and they have the absolute best acai bowls we've ever had. Now, we were told we couldn't go to Aruba without getting Dutch pancakes, and the most recommended spot was Linda's Dutch Pancakes. This is an open-air restaurant. You eat out there on the balcony. We got both a savory and a sweet, and it did not disappoint. Now, Azar's was kind of unassuming from the outside, but from the inside, it had great ambiance and it had great food. Now, the restaurant Barefoot made a lot of most recommended lists, so we made ourselves a reservation there. And I gotta say, maybe I just ordered the wrong thing, but I didn't think the food was great. But I will say, you really don't go for the food. Go because you get to be barefoot, and this is the sunset. So after doing everyone else's most recommended, what are our most recommended? Definitely Renaissance Island and hanging out with the flamingos, snorkeling and eating. Then we'd rank the Hooberg hike. We loved being able to see these views and really getting to see a different part of Aruba from just the epic beaches. And whether you bring your own snorkeling equipment like we did, or you book a snorkeling tour, I highly recommend snorkeling in this crystal clear water that is warm like bath water, and there's very little surf or undertow. And while I know a lot of people prefer floating in the lazy river, I'd give my vote to floating in the ocean every day. And our very best recommendation is to book all of your dinner reservations right at sunset. I hope this video helps you plan an amazing trip to Aruba, and if I left something out you enjoyed, please leave a comment.